Today's headline, Pinoy urge, remain vigilant. Vax push needed among college students. Inflation seen meeting target. 5 to 8 p.m. coding enforced. Get permits, Fresnedi tells BuCor. Clark Airport suspends protocols for green countries. Japan shuts border. Good morning, I am Kim Sancha and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Today is the 30th of November and here are the latest news this morning. While the government imposes COVID-19 measures with a sense of urgency, the public should remain compliant with health protocols amid the threat of the Omicron variant, according to Malacanang. Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles appealed to Filipinos on Monday to keep wearing their masks and observing physical distancing, especially during the holidays following the discovery of the virus type, which may be vaccine resistant. Nograles said, who is also acting presidential spokesperson, appealed to the public to remain vigilant during the holiday season and urged the public to intensify the wearing of masks, hand washing, avoiding crowds, and receiving vaccines, noting that the entry of the Omicron variant is inevitable. The palace official also called on mayors and village officials to boost their efforts on active case finding, contact tracing, and isolating their infected residents. He said in a televised briefing that the local government units and the Department of the Interior and local government are directed to ensure strict implementation and adherence to the prevention, detection, isolation, treatment, and reintegration strategies. While the Omicron raised concerns worldwide for possibly causing yet another deadly infection surge, Nograles said the COVID-19 protocol set by the World Health Organization and enforced by the government remain effective in reducing risks of virus spread. He also said that the government had acted swiftly to prevent the entry of the Omicron variant, including the imposition of a travel ban on countries where the virus type was first discovered. The Department of Health, the official added, had been instructed to ensure that the country's health system capacity is prepared to address the possible increase of COVID-19 cases. As the national government's 3-day national vaccination days, dubbed Bayanihan Bakunahan, enter its second day, Senator Christopher Bongo stressed there is an adequate supply of vaccines to inoculate those interested. The senator said the Bayanihan Bakunahan event mobilizes all stakeholders, manpower, and logistics to facilitate the vaccination in 16 regions and the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. Meanwhile, Commission on Higher Education Chairman Prospero de Vera III yesterday said the vaccination rate for college teachers and students is increasing, noting that higher education institutions or HEI need a final push for the vaccination drive. Based on weekly reports from higher education institutions all over the country, some 82% of faculty and HEI employees have received at least one jab. This is a significant increase from the 72% vaccination rate at the end of October 2021, when the supply of vaccines increased dramatically. On the other hand, the Philippine National Police has assigned 7 teams that will help carry out inoculations against COVID-19 in line with the vaccination drive. The teams are composed of 70 health service and medical reserve force personnel, PNP Chief General Leonardo Carlos said. As of 25th of November, De Vera said vaccination percentage in all regions is at 70% and above among HEI personnel, Regions 3, 8, and 11 and COR reported a close to 90% vaccinated HEI personnel. The vaccination rate for students has also significantly increased from less than 30% to 46% with the aggressive school-based vaccination drive spearheaded by CHED. In cooperation with the Department of Health, National Task Force Against COVID-19, local government units, and partner HEI. De Vera said that with more than adequate supplies of vaccines, the challenge now is to increase vaccination centers and vaccinators so we can help reach the target of 3 million job individuals during the 3-day national vaccination program. Carlos said the PNP fully supports the national vaccination drive as it is the most potent response to the crisis brought by COVID-19. In another news, monetary authorities are projecting a much tamer inflation for November, expecting data for such to settle within the government's 2 to 4% target. Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas Governor Benjamin Diokno said inflation in November could hit 3.7%, the midpoint of their 3.3 to 4.1% range forecast. Diokno said that the higher electricity and LPG prices along with the uptick in the prices of meat, fish, fruits, and vegetables are the primary sources of inflationary pressure during the month. He added that these could be offset in part by a rollbacks in domestic petroleum prices and the appreciation of the peso. Still, the latest range offered by the BSP was notably lower than the previous 4.5 to 5.3% view for the month of October 2021. Further, the BSP chief reiterated the central bank's commitment in keeping market prices in check and supporting the economy for a faster recovery. He concluded that the BSP will continue to monitor emerging price developments to help achieve its primary mandate of price stability that is conducive to balanced and sustainable growth of the economy. BSP Deputy Governor Francisco Daquila earlier announced a revision in their assumption for inflation for 2021, adjusting the previous 4.4% to just 4.3%. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
Boto mo to, Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Chris masaya, pagsama-sama.
Bong, yung naumpisahan ko, tapusin mo. Mga bagong highway, tulay, tren, dapat ma-enjoy na kaagad ng mga tao yan. Kailangan lahat bakunado at laging may ayuda pag kailangan. Huwag dapat makabalik ang mga drug lords para ligtas ang pamilya. Yung ginawa mong malasakit centers, maganda yan. Padamihin mo pa. Magkasama tayo. Tayo ang nagsimula, tuloy-tuloy lang. Bong.
Boto mo to, Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Chris masaya, pagsama-sama.
We are back on Tribune News on Q. Metro Manila mayors have agreed to implement a modified version of the Unified Vehicular Volume Reduction Program, or UVVRP, or number coding scheme this week after its publication in the official Gazette. Metro Manila Development Authority, or MMDA, Chair Benjamin Ben-Hur Abalos said a resolution was unanimously approved by the mayors to effect the vehicle volume reduction scheme, but only from 5 to 8 p.m. Monday to Friday. It will only cover private vehicles which Transport Network Service Vehicles or TNVS to be issued exemption stickers for easier identification by traffic enforcers. Aside from TNVS, exempted are public utility vehicles, motorcycles, garbage trucks, fuel trucks, and motor vehicles carrying essential goods. Trucks with a gross capacity weight of 4,500 kilos and below are prohibited from traversing EDSA from Magallanes, Makati City until North Avenue, Quezon City, both northbound and southbound, from 5 a.m. until 9 p.m. And along Shaw Boulevard, Mandaluyong City and Pasig City, from 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. and from 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. Meanwhile, the Rose Park by the Bureau of Correction or BuCor building a wall to close a road leading to a subdivision. Public high school and university inside the new Bilibid prison reservation in Muntinlupa is not over yet. This after Muntinlupa City Mayor Jaime Fresnedi insisted that the BuCor should submit first a master development plan for the approval of the City Council before it could legally undertake construction activities in the area. Fresnedi said that BuCor, a bureau under the Department of Justice that manages penal facilities in the country, is no different from other groups in that it must secure the necessary permits from the local government. Under the city's existing zoning ordinance, planned unit development requires a master development plan, Fresnedi said. Residents on Friday demolished the wall of hollow blocks built by BuCor along the road used by residents of Katarungan Village, as well as the students and faculty of the Muntinlupa National High School and the pamantasan ng lungsod ng Muntinlupa. The Bureau said the roads had to be closed because they compromised security at the NBP, serving as possible entryways of armed men who may attack the facility and of those throwing contraband into the penal compound. It maintained that Katarungan Village residents have more than enough access points going to the Anghari Road. The Clark International Airport, or CRK, has suspended testing and quarantine protocols to inbound international travelers from countries classified as green countries. The Clark International Airport Corporation said that testing and quarantine protocols are temporarily suspended immediately, except for countries classified as yellow. While for countries herein classified as red, the testing and quarantine protocols for all inbound travelers, international travelers in all ports of entry shall comply with the testing and quarantine protocols. The agency has also disclosed that they have imposed travel restrictions to countries such as South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Lesotho, Eswatini, and Mozambique. The agency has also placed Austria, Czech Republic, Hungary, the Netherlands, Switzerland, Belgium, and Italy under the red list. The statement added that the inbound international travel of all persons, regardless of vaccination status, coming from or who have been to red list countries, jurisdiction, territories within the last 14 days prior to arrival to any port of the Philippines shall not be allowed. Tribune News on Q will be back. Stay with us.
Boto mo to Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Chris masaya, pagsama-sama. Katribu, hanap mo ba ay food to satisfy your cravings, essential products o ano paman? Sagot ka namin dito sa tindahan ni Tarsi! Halina't tuklasin, kilalanin at alamin ang kwento sa likod ng iba't ibang produkto at negosyo mula sa ating Pinoy local entrepreneurs na tiyak papatok sa'yo. Samahan natin si Tarsi simula November 16 na mapapanood sa programang Gising na mula alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga sa Facebook page ng Daily Tribune at TribuneNow on YouTube.
Boto mo to, Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Chris masaya, pagsama-sama.
You're still watching Tribune News on Q. For our foreign news, Japan announced plans Monday to bar all new foreign travelers over the Omicron variant of COVID-19, joining a growing list of countries trying to erect virtual fortresses against the heavily mutated new strain. The Japanese government has become the latest country to reinstate strict border controls that many had hoped would be a thing of the past, barring all new foreign arrivals just weeks after announcing it would finally allow some visa holders to enter the country. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida said the country was in a stronger position against the Omicron variant than other countries, citing voluntary mask wearing and self-restraints about risk behaviors. The variant is also throwing a tentative opening up into doubt in Australia, where the government is now reconsidering plans to relax border restrictions further in just 2 days. But with 3 Omicron cases confirmed in people flying into Australia from Southern Africa, 2 landing in Sydney and 1 in the northern city of Darwin, Prime Minister Scott Morrison appeared reluctant to reimpose the kinds of strict lockdowns seen earlier this year. He said that the people don't just need to learn to live alongside COVID, they need to learn to live alongside the variants as well. A long list of countries have already imposed travel restrictions on Southern Africa, including key travel hub Qatar, as well as the United States, Britain, Brazil, Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and the Netherlands. That wraps up the stories this morning. Before we go, we would like to thank the following: Mary Kay, the SM Store, the Department of Tourism, Araneta City, MG Motors, Haina Motors, Security Bank, and Overseas Community Affairs Council member Alan Lin of Republic of China for their continued support. Again, this is Kim Sancho on Tribune News on Q, reminding that we only have 25 days before Christmas. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning.
Boto mo to, Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Chris masaya, pagsama-sama.
Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. Download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS and Google Play for Android to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune invites you to join its Viber community, Katribu, to get updates on the hottest news on politics, business, sports, lifestyle, and entertainment. Emoticons of the Tribune mascot Tarsito are available on our community Viber.